Hello, 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 and welcome everyone to another episode of Healing and Moving Forward. This is Jeremy, your co host. I'm filling in for Rhea. She'll be with us soon in the future. Before I get started with everything, I want to let you know that please like, share, all of the good stuff. I want to say hello to our Facebook group live. I want to say hello to the Charm City Direct followers and a special hello to our first time only YouTube followers for this show. Yes, very, very nice. And if you're tuning in on Facebook, please remember to go to the upper right hand corner. There's a link that says StreamYard there. If you click that link, it'll allow us to see who you are when you're commenting. So please do that. Now that we got all of the good stuff out of the way, I would like to introduce our wonderful guest this evening. We have Karen Klingen here today. Hello, Karen.
Hey, hey, hey.
How are you doing? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm doing good. So I am a personal trainer and nutrition consultant. I have my own company called CLC Wellness, and basically here to provide you with all of your wellness needs.
Yay! That's perfect because today our topic is hidden sugars.
Dun, dun, dun.
But that's all right. Hidden sugars we're going to talk about today. Now, Karen, please tell us exactly what are hidden sugars.
Hidden sugars are basically just sugars that do a really good job of hiding out in our foods. They pop up without us even knowing about it. So I'm trying to explain this in like the simplest terms possible.
Please.
Basically, when you're looking on the back of a label, and I'm going to use my water as an example. I'm like, I got my water right here. So if you're looking on the back where it says, nutrition facts, and you look down where it says added sugar. So that's not hidden. It's when you go down and you see like the thing where it says additional added sugar, or even down in the ingredients list, and it says something like dextrose or honey or something like that. So it's not going to outwardly say sugar. It's gonna masquerade as something else. And so that's basically what we're going to talk about today, like how to identify what those hidden sugars are.
Oh, that's so sneaky. So we don't really know a lot of the time.
No, we don't.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so my next question you answered it already. I was going to ask, is it as simple as finding these hidden sugars on the ingredient list, or as we know, the nutrition facts that are on the back of all of our products that we consume? And it's there and it's not hidden. So see, that's how they get you. They'll say, oh, it's in there. We told you. No, you
right. Well, what's really funny is when you see things where it says no added sugar or, zero sugar or something like that. And, products are really sneaky, and, they're like, well, it's not added. It's not sugar. It's a sugar derivative.
Oh.
And so it's like, that's how they get away with adding that sugar in.
See, that's tricky. That's so tricky. Well, okay, so let's start. Let's get a genuine idea. So what does the American Heart Association, for example, say our amount of intake should be for sugars?
All right. So we need to have about 6 teaspoons. There we go. 6 teaspoons of sugar for women, which is about 25 grams. And then 9 teaspoons for men, which is about 34 grams. So lucky for you, I brought props because,
Yes.
you know, you might be like, well, what does that equate to?
That's
So if
exactly
you
what I was
actually see, and I'm going to pour it in this little baggie so you can see,
perfect.
because it's kind of like, oh my.
Yes.
So I got my teaspoon,
Okay. Okay.
and I'm going to spoon out 6 teaspoons. 1, 2, doesn't want all the way getting there. 3, 4,
Oh boy.
5,
You
and 6.
wait. So that's the daily amount.
This is the daily amount of sugar.
Huh.
So keeping this in mind, so this is 6 teaspoons. All right.
Okay.
20, what is it? 24, 24 grams of, sorry, 25 grams of sugar right here. I have a 7.5 ounce can of light soft drink. Okay.
Better for you because it's light, right?
Right. So 12 ounces, 7.5 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
This has 24 grams of sugar. Then an additional 24 grams of sugar.
Wait, what? Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? It has 24 and then an additional 24. So that's okay.
Double what I just put in this little baggie.
So your daily amount can be consumed in 1 can of soap. You're more than your daily amount, actually. That is kind of terrifying, actually.
Yes.
Wow. So okay, so let me ask you this. I did hear you say that even some of the things that say no sugar, you have to watch the added sugar on the back, correct?
You have to watch the added sugar. Excuse me, watch the added sugar, and you have to look at the ingredients.
Okay.
So to give you an idea, and of course, you know, I have my little cheat sheet here because it's hard to memorize all of this stuff. So added sugars, because I know you guys are probably like, well, what is added sugar? And basically anything that ends in an OUS is going to be a sugar. So dextrose is a sugar. And then there are also a couple of things that don't end in an OUS. Anything that ends in an IOL is going to be a sugar alcohol. That, again, is a derivative of sugar.
Really?
Corn syrup. So I know that we always hear about high fructose corn syrup, and people are, you know, a lot of companies are now doing away with the high fructose corn syrup. But you have maltodextrin, which is just sugar. You have corn syrup solid. You have anything where it says juice concentrate, it's a sugar.
Oh, wow. I've seen that on many things. Okay.
Yeah.
That's just alarming.
Yeah. It's, I mean, like when you really, you know, start to read the food label and you really kind of dissect it, you're like, okay, what is it really that I'm looking at? Right. So the ingredients on a label, it goes in order from most to least, greatest to least. So if you're looking, so I'll use, again, my can of soda because that's the only thing that I have right here. So the first ingredient is carbonated water. So you're like, all right, we're doing good.
We're doing good with water.
Second ingredient, high fructose corn syrup.
And that's the second ingredient. It means there's a ton
of it in there. Then you go down and it says citric acid, natural flavor, sodium citrate, sodium benzenate, blah, 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 blah. And it's basically for flavor. So really this is water, carbonated water and sugar.
With a little bit of lime.
Exactly. But see, that's all the way down. That's the last ingredient.
Oh, wow.
For flavor.
Oh no. Oh, come on now. And that's a
I
light
know.
soda. So I can imagine something that's like, say, a cherry Coke or something like that. You know, it's funny you say that because in my a little bit younger years, because you're still very young.
Mhm.
All of us are still very young. I worked at the movie theaters, and they had those bag in a box soda syrup bag box thingies, and
Oh,
had to, you know, move them and change them out. And I remember they told us you have to be able to lift at least 50 pounds when you work there. Would you believe? Are you ready for this?
oh, I don't know if I'm ready for it.
The 50 pounds was actually the cherry Coke, and there's something else there that's a dark mixture of some kind. I can't think of it right now, but it was over 50 pounds for those, and under 50 pounds for this. This is just the syrup
Oh
for the
goodness.
rest of the sodas. So if you could imagine
Oh,
how much sugar there is in something like that. And we don't even know because we can just down a can of soda like that, you know,
exactly.
or the next size up, you know, and that's Sprite, not like Mountain Dew, for
Nope.
example. That's very popular. That is extremely high in sugar.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow. So, okay. So tell me, I did hear something that I want to ask you for. I did a little bit of prep, and
Okay.
this one question kind of bothered me when I saw it. It said that they found a link between skin aging and wrinkles with added sugars
Hmm.
or hidden sugars. Is that really real? So you mean to tell me that the more added and hidden sugars we have, the more likely we are to show our aging before it's time?
There is a correlation. You know,
Oh,
I can't say now. We never say 100% certain. So everybody has what's called biochemical individuality.
mhm.
So you know, Jane over here might be like, I drink a soda a day and doesn't look a day over 25, and you know, she might be 50 something. You might have, you know, Jessica over here that
Mhm.
is like, I can look at a cherry pie or look at a can of soda and I just like age.
Yes.
And, you know, she might be 22. So they're,
But I guess it would be what you're putting in too, because
yes,
these added sugars, these hidden sugars, the high fructose corn syrup, and things like that, we know that they are very damaging. You
hmm,
know? So I guess it's safe to say that if you want to keep everyone who's listening, you want to keep that skin beautiful and clear, maybe steer away from some of these or all of these sodas. But it's not just sodas,
it's
right?
not just soda. No. So, and I never say cut something out,
Okay.
always cut down or substitute.
I love
So,
that.
you know, I'm not a big sweets person.
Hmm.
Um, you know, if I wanted something sweet, you know, like let's say I wanted actually was it last night? Was either last night or the other night. Um, I was like, you know, I'm in the mood for something sweet. I don't normally want something sweet. I just made myself a bowl of fruit,
Hmm.
nature's candy, natural sweeteners.
Absolutely.
100% natural because it's, you know, fruit has sugar in it, but it's a natural sugar. So that's what I used as my sweet, and it was satisfying. It was good to go.
Satisfying. All right. Well, then there you go. Okay, and that you went right into my next question. How can we actually subtract our added sugars? Now we don't want to. So what I take from what you're saying is you don't want to give yourself that deprived feeling of cutting yourself off. You want
Now,
to just kind of reduce and cut back as often as you can.
yes, and you know the thing about sugar is that it's an addictive property. So
Mhm.
you know it sends those signals to the brain like, I gotta have more. I gotta have more. It's on the same level as caffeine and nicotine. So, if you cut it out, I mean, I'm like, you can cut down, but don't go from like eating it every day. Just be like, all right, I'm done with it. Because quite honestly, when you're cutting out an entire, and it's not a food group, but if you're cutting out 100% something, you're also cutting out good things. So,
Gotcha.
I frequently, hear people say, I'm cutting out sugar. And I'm like, what kind of sugar?
That's a good question.
So are you cutting out all sugar? Because when you break down carbohydrates, it breaks down in the body as sugar.
Okay, that's true. Yes.
So I'm like, are you cutting out all carbohydrates? Are you cutting out fruit?
That's a good question.
Yeah. And so we never want to cut out an entire food group. So it's, you got to ask yourself, what kind of sugar am I cutting out? And it should be simple sugars. So,
okay.
Yeah. So like the sweets, and, even with the sweets, you can be like, well, you know what? I think I want to make cookies, but instead of using sugar, I'm going to use applesauce.
Wow, you're really
Great
good.
Substitute.
Segueing right into the next thing. I was.
I love it.
What categories could we talk about or discuss to help give people some examples? Like, let's say if you're baking or cooking, you just said you can substitute for applesauce, right?
Applesauce. I know people that substitute with bananas.
Actually, I think that's really good.
Yeah. Another thing, so, if you like to eat oatmeal, instead of getting the oatmeal packets that have the flavor in it, get the plain oatmeal like this, and it's best. So I always go with the good, better, best concept. The instant oatmeal is good. The old-fashioned oats are better. Steel cut is best. Get it. Get it plain, and then just add fruit, honey, cinnamon. All of those are natural sweeteners. They're going to be better for you, and you don't have to add as much.
That's true. That is very true. Okay, we love that. Okay, so let's talk about possible dressings and sauces, because we all love, to kind of spice up things with a little sauce every now and again. But there are ways that we can still have that and it be a more healthy variety. What examples might you have for that?
So I'm a huge fan of making things myself.
Very good. Okay.
Because if you go and you buy the store-bought stuff, it's going to have a lot of the hidden sugars in it. It's going to have a lot of preservatives in it. And quite honestly, I don't know about you, but I find I don't use the entire bottle. So I end up wasting a lot of the sauces. So quite honestly, I like making it myself. Right. Okay. Sometimes I'll follow a recipe. Actually, I made salmon tonight, and I was like, you know what? We're going to put some olive oil. I did Greek seasoning, Italian seasoning, and salt and pepper, and 2 cloves of garlic.
Wow.
So good. It
does sound good.
One of my favorite marinades to do is teriyaki, or not teriyaki. Actually, I kind of do my own teriyaki, and I'll do Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce, brown sugar, and then I'll put some other stuff in it, and voila.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh, that's smart. I like that. That's a nice concept to kind of stay away from the pre-made things where, to be honest, we don't know what's in there. We could turn the bottle around and read the ingredients and not know what most of those things even mean.
Right. And quite honestly, like, who's going to do that in the grocery store? I mean, I do it, but well, so case in point. So my son plays baseball, and he comes up to me and he's like, Mommy, I want some Gatorade. And I'm like, all right, all of his friends are doing it. But I was like, I cannot in good conscience give you Gatorade. And so I went and I read the back of the label and I was just like, no,
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 no.
no. So one thing that I did, I was like, I'm not doing Gatorade, but I did look at Powerade, and Powerade had better, that good, better, best.
Uh-huh.
But what I ended up doing was I ended up getting the electrolyte tablets
Uh-huh.
for him to put in water. And
Yeah.
I said, and I had him taste it and I said, how do you like it? And he's like, I actually do like this. Cool. There you go.
Go.
This does the exact same thing. And quite
Yes.
honestly, a better job of rehydrating you than Gatorade
Very.
or Powerade.
When I was in school for medical assisting, they taught us that a very simple way to replenish electrolytes is to basically do the same thing. For example, you could take a glass of water, and you could take for a glass of water, it would only need to be like a pinch of salt.
Yep.
You could use a few drops of lemon or something that's citrus,
Mm-hmm.
and a very small amount of sugar. And it
Yep.
does not need to be a lot. And you can barely taste the difference in the water. And you drink that, like in third world countries where they have to do pop-up hospitals and things like that.
Yep.
A lot of people, they need to have their electrolytes replenished, and that's what they can do like right now on hand, But of course, if we're used to giving the cereals in the mornings that are so full of sugar, then you want possibly having something fast food, and then you think, okay, well, all of that's preservatives and sugar, and then it's like, okay, so yeah, you're working out. Why not just give you a Gatorade? You want to try and cut back if you can, right, Karen?
Yes.
Where you can, if you can. Maybe if you have a lot of kids, I would suggest making your own container, especially if they're out playing and they come in and they're exhausted.
Absolutely.
That, refresher, and they're not bogged down by the sugar at the same time. Right.
And, so I have 4 kids, so I am all about saving money. And I'm like, am I going to spend, $3 on a thing of Gatorade, or am I going to spend, $5 on, some tablets,
Mm-hmm.
and then she'd be like, psh, go, psh,
That's
go.
It. Yeah. It's a no-brainer, right?
No, it's definitely a no-brainer.
Wonderful. I love that. So one of the viewers asked, can you give us some examples of how we can truly curb our sugar addiction? I know that, I don't know if the viewer was here for the earlier part, but I know one thing that we went over is having fruits, and fruits and vegetables, with more fruits for sugar,
Yes.
instead of
Mm-hmm.
pastry item or something that's full of preservatives and hidden sugars and things like that. And we just also discussed, when you need your electrolytes replenished, that you can do that in a way that's not harmful for your body. What about snacking? Let's talk about how we can do this when it comes to snacking.
So I'm one of those weird people. Like I keep a lot of healthy things in my house, but like I said, I have 4 children, and they want to eat real food. Not a problem. So we do Kind bars.
Okay.
So there's 2 different. They do. I like that, and they like them. We do raisins, goldfish, pretzels.
Okay.
Those are the kid foods.
Gotcha.
But for us adults, I am all about doing granola.
Okay.
And so there are some, or like trail mix or something like that. Okay. So there are certain ones that I'll go out and buy. But again, if I'm trying to save money, if I'm really trying to be 100% healthy, I will make it myself. So I will go and get some plain granola.
Okay.
And then I'll get some dark chocolate because, again, it's nice to have that savory sweet.
That's true.
And dark chocolate is, and believe it or not, dark chocolate is actually good for you. Make sure it's about 65% cacao or higher.
Higher, right. There you go.
Typically, 85% is it's bitter is all good, but it's super healthy for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I'll put in some raisins or dried cranberry or cherry or something like that. And then different nuts.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah. And even going to the store and finding a mixture that has all of that is good. Just stay away from the ones that have the candy in it. I know there's one that has M&Ms in it. Try to stay away from that one. That would be like the good. We want to try to go a little bit better.
Right. Okay.
With the dark chocolate.
That's awesome. So we know what to do when we're baking. We know what to do as far as the soft drinks and sodas. We covered that. We covered our dressing and sauces. We also covered our snacks and and our desserts and sweets. So what about, I think the last thing that I can think of is you're drinking your tea or your coffee. Okay. Is regular sugar okay? I know I use, sorry for the noise, folks. I'm in New York. You're getting the full experience, okay? I like the Tornindo. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Tornindo sugar or something. It says it's from the, I knew you were gonna, I have it here.
Okay.
So, I wanted to ask you about this actually. It says that it's derived from the sugar cane, but it's made from a special process in which the sugar crystals coat the outside of the sugar cane in a molasses type way, and that's what they shave off. I'm assuming because it's from sugar cane, it's probably regular sugar, and I'm going to be sad, but
okay. So there are two things that you said in there. So you said process.
Yes.
And then you said molasses.
Yes.
So you have sugar cane and you have molasses. That is a very, 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 very sweet sweetener.
Oh, okay. Well, when you know better, you can do better, right?
Yes.
What would we use as?
I personally am a proponent. So when I don't add anything when I drink tea. But when I drink coffee, I use regular sugar.
Okay.
Just because I don't use a lot of it. I just
I don't
put a dab in it and then I'm good. But when I'm out, I actually do the brown, the what is that stuff called? The raw sugar. Yes.
Okay.
So I love that.
So that's good though. Okay. The raw sugar is good.
You have to watch out for the other sweeteners. So Splenda, not the best. Not the best. It's processed. It's not the best. It's super, super sweet.
It is good.
And what tends to happen, again, with all of those sweeteners, so you have like the NutraSweet, you have the
stevia is something.
So you have stevia, Truvia. Out of all of those, Truvia is probably going to be the healthiest one for you just because it literally is. It comes from a plant.
Okay.
Whereas the other ones are going to be more processed. So Sweet and Low, highly processed, not good at all. When it comes to those, and again, you got to be super, super careful because what also tends to happen is a lot of people you can be predisposed to other things like heart failure, diabetes, all high blood pressure, all of those things that unfortunately, if you are of the darker complexion, we tend to be a little bit more susceptible to. So, we want to fight genetics and fight all of that stuff the best way that we can. And one way to do that is to cut down on the sugar intake.
That is awesome. I'm telling you, I've learned so much from this. Now, some of the viewers, they want to know how they can contact you. I'm going to put some information up. Your website that's supposed to say www. That's supposed to be a period. Okay, everybody. You can actually go to this website and you can contact you from this website, correct?
Mhm.
And that's your company as well, everybody. This is the CEO that we're talking to for CLC Wellness. Okay, get that together.
Yes.
But, we've learned a lot. We've covered so much material. I want to thank you so much, Karen, for coming out. Well,
Anytime.
here with us. We don't do it in person anymore, but thank you for all of the wonderful knowledge. And if they have questions or concerns, feel free to, again, you can contact and get information there on her website.
You can also find me CLC Wellness on Facebook as well.
All right. Look for it on CLC Wellness on Facebook, everyone, as well. Thank you all for having me as the host as well for today. And we look forward to the next show. I'm not sure who the host will be or what the topic will be, but I'm looking forward to seeing it anyway. Thanks, everybody. See you later.
May the 4th be with you.
Yes. Until next time.